Happy birthday, Mr. Spencer. Let's play our game.
This is macOS Ken.
Rod Hall's stellar miss, a bag full of betas, and scheduling news for Epic v. Apple. It's Wednesday, the 24th of March, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macosken with offer code macosken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macosken. There's misreading the numbers. Then there's yesterday's note from Goldman Sachs analyst Rod Hall. He and his missed PC expectations in the December quarter by a lot. Missing in March of 2020, sure. Missing in June, okay. Missing in September, fine. But the amount he missed 9 months into the pandemic, look, I'm not saying I could do it, but I'm also not getting paid who knows how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. Apple 3.0 ran part of a note Hall wrote. According to his firm's data, PC shipments for the December quarter hit 89.7 million units, up 26% year-on-year, beating the bank's expectation by 21%. Consumer-side sales were up 27%, beating their expectation by 18%. Commercial sales were up 25%, beating their expectation by 24%. While he's apparently good at being wrong about computers in general, we've come to know Hall over the past couple of years for being wrong about Apple in particular. Didn't used to be that way. Not sure what changed. Whatever it was, he doesn't appear to be changing back. Quoting his note, Apple rose 35% year-on-year to end up with a share of 15%, up 1 percentage point year-on-year, though we note that M1 Macs were likely in short supply in the quarter. Quoting another part of his note, HP lost share due to supply constraints, while Apple grew slightly faster than the market, driven in part by its new M1 Macs. Looking ahead, we expect this general PC strength to persist in the first half, but weaken in the second half, driven by reopening as well as tougher compares. To be fair, Hall said basically the same thing in a note back in December. Still, dude. Atypically, Apple 3.0 did not list Hall's rating and price target on Apple shares. The last mention of both was in the wake of Apple's last earnings call when Hall stuck to his sell rating on Apple shares. He did up his price target that time, though, from $80 to $83. Since then, shares have gotten as high as $137, though they've spent most of their time in the $120-something range. A herald of new Macs on the horizon, in the form of a macOS beta. Apple Insider says Apple on Tuesday issued the 5th beta of macOS Big Sur 11.3 to developers. Then another piece from 9to5Mac said the beta was already out to public testers as well. Life comes at you pretty fast. Lodged deep in the macOS beta, something Rod Hall may want to factor into his calculus, references to new iMacs. 9to5Mac says Tuesday's beta contains references to new iMac models, identified in the code as iMac 21,1 and iMac 21,2. The piece points out that the 21 is not related to screen size. Add that to the pile of hints and speculation around new desktops. Last week, the piece points out a developer noticed some crash reports in their app coming from an unknown iMac powered by an ARM processor. Additionally, Apple over the past few weeks has killed the iMac Pro and some 21.5-inch iMacs at certain storage capacities. That leaves holes where shiny machines used to be. waiting perhaps for other shiny machines. Seeds of other betas were cast about on Tuesday. Sadly, I can't say for sure what's out to the public versus developer only. What I can say is what others have said. Apple Insider ran a piece saying that the Cupertino people had released fifth betas of iOS 14.5, iPadOS 14.5, tvOS 14.5, and watchOS 7.4. That was followed by a piece from MacRumors that said that the public testing program had gotten the iPad and iOS betas. Once again, we find hints in code of things to come. Well, once again, 9to5Mac does. Another piece from that site says they found references to an A14X chip in the iOS 14.5 beta. Now, the reference is actually to a chip called 13G. That said, the piece says, based on the previous chip naming schemes and information obtained by 9to5Mac, we can say that 13G is the A14X SoC, a variant of the A14 Bionic chip. The reference pairs nicely with rumors of a new iPad Pro on the way. We know, as well as one can, that all the betas will be out soon. Each is tied to Apple's new App Tracking Transparency Plan, which is supposed to kick in early spring. It is early spring, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, which means iOS iPadOS 14.5 should be out soon. The new iPad processor turning up in the coming soon beta would seem to indicate new iPads are also coming soon. From updates we'll get at some point to updates we can have right now. MacRumors says Apple on Tuesday updated Pages, Numbers, and Keynote for macOS and iOS all the way up to version 11. For the iOS versions, the piece says all of the apps now have on-screen keyboards for entering exact values for text size, spacing, table size, and more. On the Mac side, each features an updated media browser with enhanced search options and new content categories. Plenty more for all of the updates. Pages, Numbers, and Keynote are free applications, thus are their updates free as well. Each is available in their respective app stores. Apple's making a harder push for the classroom, and they're going through the people who run them. The company ran a post titled, Apple expands free professional learning to help teachers champion creativity in its virtual newsroom Tuesday, a post that was highlighted by CNET. The post announced a new program for teachers called Apple Teacher Portfolio. CNET says the free program, offered alongside updates to the Cupertino company's schoolwork and classroom apps, is meant to help schools more easily integrate technology into their curriculums. Quoted in the piece, Apple's new VP of Developer Relations, Susan Prescott helps lead Apple's developer education marketing efforts, according to CNET. The piece has her saying, to support schools in getting the most from Apple products, we develop professional learning as an essential part of our education offering. The new Apple Teacher Portfolio helps build educators' confidence in reimagining their lessons and recognizes them for the great work they do every day. More news in a moment, but first a word from Sunbasket, delivering oven-ready meals that are fast, fresh, and delicious. When's the last time you tried cooking something truly new? Lots of things can stop you. First, how do you know what you don't know? Second, do you really want to buy a whole bottle of safflower oil for one recipe? As a matter of fact, that is the voice of experience talking. Third, how much time do you want to spend in the grocery store picking up ingredients these days? Let Sunbasket take care of all of it. Whether you go for meal kits or fresh and ready meals, you get everything you need delivered in one box. The instructions are easy to follow, and the food is amazing. I still miss the Mojo tacos with salsa verde I made. But that's cool. I got more great food from Sunbasket on the way. Get out of your food rut with Sunbasket. Right now, Sunbasket has a limited time offer. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, including free shipping on the first box, when you go right now to sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken at checkout for $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries, plus free shipping on your first box. sunbasket.com/macosken and enter promo code macosken. Offer expires on the 13th of April. New York's Department of Financial Services has finished an investigation into Apple Card, and it has found no wrongdoing. You may remember the story from 2019. I'm kidding. Who remembers 2019? Back in 2019, Apple and Goldman Sachs, the bank backing Apple Card, were accused of unlawful discrimination, specifically based on gender. According to a piece from 9to5Mac, the investigation started when entrepreneur David Heinemeier Hansen tweeted that he had received 20 times the credit limit of his wife. He noted that he and his wife filed joint tax returns. Things got even more damning when Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak made a similar observation. Well, now hold on a second. How does Woz know about Heinemeier Hansen's taxes? Oh, Woz had a Right, okay, that makes more sense. Anywho, 9to5Mac says the Department of Financial Services says it found no evidence of gender bias. Its investigation of Apple Card focused on both Apple and card underwriter Goldman Sachs. It reviewed thousands of pages of records from both Goldman and Apple. The investigation also involved interviews with multiple Apple Card customers, plus data from approximately 400,000 Apple Card applicants from New York State. And I'm sure the findings of their investigation will satisfy everyone, except for the people it doesn't satisfy. More details around the upcoming Epic v. Apple battle. Apple Insider says the court hearing the case issued a pre-trial order on Tuesday, setting some of the scheduling for a trial. According to the piece, after a review of each party's tentative witness list, the court has determined that Apple and Epic Games will each be afforded 45 hours to be used in whatever manner they choose for the bench trial. 45 hours? That's almost as long as the Snyder Cut. Here's something for the TIL file. Anyway, it's something I learned today. According to the report, along with the 45 hours each, the court will read up to 4 hours of deposition designation for each side ahead of the trial. I know what a deposition is. Today I learned that deposition designations consist of page and line numbers of testimony that the party intends to introduce into evidence at trial. Ahead of the trial, the court will read 4 hours of those from each side. Anything over 4 hours goes against the 45 live hours allotted. Those are due in by the end of April. The trial starts on the 3rd of May. Are you like me? Do you wonder which streaming service is going to turn this circus into a limited run series? It's got kind of a Hulu feel, doesn't it? And finally today, it's kind of crazy, but it just might be crazy. 9to5Mac had Intel announcing yesterday that it plans to build factories in Arizona to build processors, some of its own and some for third parties. None of that's the crazy part. If you've got the capacity and the expertise, why not do what you do for yourself and people who'll pay? No, the crazy part is Intel thinking they could do that for Apple. According to the report, Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger did a bit of Q&A after the announcement. He did the A part. Quoting a piece from Engadget, the report says Gelsinger mentioned that Intel is currently working with partners including Amazon, Cisco, IBM, and Microsoft. But he pushed a bit further during a Q&A session with press, saying that he's even pursuing Apple's business. Now, I'm a grown-up-ish. I can see a day when Apple and Intel bury the hatchet, Apple pays Intel gobs of money, and Intel starts cranking out Apple silicon. That said, if Intel is interested in Apple's business, are the current ad campaigns bashing Apple and its computers the best way to go about getting it? The road's long, memories soften. Still, I'm not sure I'd hold my breath. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Sunbasket. Get $90 off and 4 free gifts across your first 4 deliveries at sunbasket.com/macosken with offer code macosken. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macosken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.